Greetings from BSC Designer team. In this video tutorial, I'll show you how to set targets for indicators and calculate aggregated data. Imagine an indicator that's updated quarterly. How should its annual total be calculated? Well, the answer depends on the indicator itself. For indicators like revenue, it should be the sum of quarterly values. For indicators like customer satisfaction, it should be the average. And finally, there might be indicators like the percentage of employees trained that accumulate the value quarter by quarter, and the last value will be the annual total value. Let's see how BSC Designers automates this. Here, we have 3 indicators. Before making the video, I did some preparations. I've changed the update intervals of the indicators to quarterly updates. And also, I changed the configuration of the KPI table to display the columns with aggregated annual data. Here, we have value YTD and progress YTD, where YTD stands for year to date. Below the name of the column, I see the period of dates used for the calculation. In my case, it's from the beginning of the year until the end of the year. Let's add the targets to the revenue indicator. For example, during the year, we want to reach $50,000 in revenue. I switch to the Data tab and enter this value into the target field. The software asks me if that's the target for the first quarter or if it's the target for the whole year from the date currently selected in the calendar until the end of the year. I select the year option. In the preview, the software shows me the target $50,000 assigned to each quarter. That's not what I had in mind. The $50,000 is my annual target, not quarterly. To explain this to the software, I changed the group by to sum of changed. The software divides the total target into equal parts and updates the quarterly targets. To calculate the aggregated target, the software will sum all targets. The same will happen if the software needs to calculate the aggregated values or baselines. It will sum the data. I click OK to apply the targets. Let's set the target for the customer satisfaction indicator. My goal is to keep customer satisfaction on the level of 98%. I enter this value into the target field. When the software asks, I select that I want to have this target for the whole period. By default, the indicator's group by is configured as average, so the target data makes sense. I click OK to apply the changes. Finally, let's set the targets for the percentage of employees trained. My target is to have 100% employees trained, but I cannot achieve it in one quarter, so I need the target to increase every quarter. I enter 100% and apply the target to the whole year. The average grouping won't make sense in this case. Let's try the sum of changed. It might work, but in this case, the targets are 25% for each quarter, while I want the target to be increasing each quarter, reaching 100% by the end of the year. The right option for this case would be accumulated. In this case, the target increases gradually, reaching 100% at the end of the reporting period. I click OK to apply the changes. Let's enter in the values editor for this indicator. As you can see, the group by setting that we selected is already applied here. For this grouping type, there is an additional checkbox. Update baseline with previous value. That will facilitate tracking the progress of indicator by quarters. Let's enter some data into the indicator. I can do it here in the values editor or in the KPIs tab. I'm selecting the first quarter, and I see the 25% target that we assigned for this quarter. I enter the actual percentage of employees trained. Let's say that it's 20%. I'm switching to the second quarter. The target for this quarter is 50%. Let's say that we've got to 45%. I enter this value and see that the baseline was automatically updated using the last known value. It's now 20%. The progress for this quarter will be calculated not from 0%, but from the 20% baseline. We can finish filling in data. Let's put 70% for the third quarter and 100% for the fourth quarter. The time chart on the right shows that during all the quarters, we stay within the green zone, getting close to the quarterly targets. There are 2 additional settings that might be useful for the calculation of the aggregated data. Let's go to the settings and switch to the organization tab. Here, you have a setting that defines when your fiscal year starts. By default, it's January, but if it's different in your organization, you can change it here. You can also define what period should be used in the YTD column, the YTD that we used, the time period until today's date, or the year total, the time period until the end of the year, and the most flexible option, year to selected date, the time period until the month selected in the internal calendar of the software. That's all I wanted to share with you in this tutorial. As always, feel free to contact our team with your questions.